Yeah, that's a pretty 8 million goddamn big hole, Shaw, Roak said, as he stared at the crater that had been the location of a vault filled with over 30 million chits. Chits, not credits. Hard currency that was accepted everywhere in the galaxy, whether it was Galactic Fleet-controlled territory or Scrang Alliance territory. Not that territories mattered much, since the war was long over, but Roak liked to know who he was buying off when he hopped into a new star system. No buying off anyone without chits, though. Only rubble and scorched earth were left. Scorched earth for several meters around the crater and beyond. The edge of the jungle that surrounded the crater and covered nearly every square meter of ground on the planet Ligston was blackened and dried out from the fire and heat. Surprised the whole planet didn't burn when this blew, Roak stated, as he adjusted his rebreather. Ligston was a jungle planet with an atmosphere that was nearly pure oxygen. A spark in the air would ignite. No blasters, no ships allowed to land, no electrical equipment outside of a sealed, contained environment. An explosion the size of what had created the crater should have lit that part of the planet up like a firecracker. Instead, there was a minimum of damage. Tells me we're dealing with pros, Roak said. They had measures in place to control the spread. They blew the vault and put out the fire fast. That's expensive tech. The man, a Scrang next to Roak, only nodded. His yellow lizard eyes were locked onto the crater. He was the one put in charge of making sure the chits were safe. Scrang weren't the easiest to read, but a blind nuft could have seen the disgust and rage on the man's face. Because of the need to not blow up, Shah Tog, a battle-hardened weapons dealer who was missing the lower half of his body, was not locked into his usual rollerball that allowed him ease of movement. A rollerball that was held together by aftermarket parts. If he went outside with that thing, all it would take was a short circuit, and the lizard man would be one crispy critter, along with anything within 30 meters of the spark. So instead of his rollerball, the Scrang exile, because that warrior race despised cripples and weakness of any kind, was sitting in a small grav sled, his taloned fingers drumming a slow rhythm on the dashboard, those yellow lizard eyes refusing to stray from the crater. "I'll deal with this," he hissed at Roak. Roak turned and stepped to the side of the grav sled. "Yeah, you 8 million goddamn will," Roak said. No rancor or animosity. Only a professional coolness to Roak's voice. Every last chit. "They'll have spent some by now," Shaw said. "Whatever they spend comes out of your end," Roak replied. "Not mine. Not Allie's. Your end, Shaw." Shaw winced. Roak leaned in so his nose was almost touching Shaw's nostrils. "Shaw, you have told Allie about this, right? Please tell me you told her about this." "You want me to lie?" Shaw snapped. "Because I can tell you, you're a pretty little girl, too, if you want. Whatever you want to hear, Roak." 8 million gods, Roak sighed, and took several steps back from the grav sled. He looked up into the cloudy sky that was thick and heavy with rain ready to burst down on them at any second. "Fine, I'll tell her." Shit. "She's not going to be happy," Shaw said. "I thought it best you break the news because she won't try to kill you when you do it. Me? She'd gut this old Scrang without blinking. Use one of her Tetcherian toe talons to slice me from stem to stern." "You don't have a stern, you old cripple," Roak said. But again, no rancor. Only resignation to do the job at hand, which was telling his sometime lover that the chits she had been banking on when she finally wanted to leave Ligston were gone. "What's your plan?" Shaw asked. "Get her as drunk as possible, and tell her while we sit in that rejuvenation tub she has," Roak said. "She'll still get a few punches in, but the tub will heal me up fast." "No, I mean about the chits," Shaw said. "What? You just said you were going to deal with it," Roak said. That time there was plenty of rancor. "I'll find out who did the job, but look at me, Roak. I ain't going anywhere soon. I'll deal with it by getting names. You'll have to be the one that goes out and gets the chits back. You're an 8 million goddamn bounty hunter. It's what you do." "I hunt people down and make chits, Shaw. I don't hunt chits down. I don't hunt stuff." "You always get paid. Someone took your payment. You telling me you won't hunt down these chits?" Roak grumbled and kicked a couple of blackened roots by his boots. He adjusted the rebreather and sighed. "Get me the names and I'll get us the chits back, but my fee comes out of your end too."